Back with another reaction, guys. Yo, this time we're taking it deep. We're taking it deep under the ocean. Yo, we're gonna be looking at the most bizarre animals ever discovered in the ocean. So let's see what's gonna be in there. Is it gonna be the Loch Ness monster? Is it gonna be megalodons? Who knows? Some crazy stuff I'm expecting. Let's get straight into this reaction. Let's go.
Weird octopuses. Octopuses are already.
Octopus is just one of them
one
of them animals here that just strange, bro. Look at it. Look at it.
Brains, 3 hearts, and blue blood.
3 hearts, you know. What do you think this is? Meliotus.
And orangutans. However, our regular tentacled friends actually look rather tame compared to their deep sea versions. Here's some of the strangest you'll find in the deep sea. Let's start off with
ugly
the
creatures, you know,
which certainly looks like something out of a Disney movie. They live between 200 to 1,500 meters below the ocean and are mostly native to the eastern Pacific, with a few species scattered throughout the mid-Atlantic Ocean. With its tiny size, gelatinous body, almost adorable build.
Nope. Adorable. Nope.
Now take a blackjack octopus, make it more translucent, and give it a rounder body, and this is what you have. The informally named Casper octopus gets the inspiration
Casper the Ghost, you know.
Ghastly look.
It looks like Casper the Ghost, though. That's the ruddy thing.
Number 9, anglerfish.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. This one just looks crazy. Yeah, that one. Yeah, yo, miss me with that.
Anglerfish, which gets its name from its unusual hunting method, which involves luring prey close to its mouth using that weird luminescent appendage coming out of its head.
Pure predator, that thing looks like, you know.
Similar to humans, male anglerfish spend their lives finding a single female through pheromones she releases. Once found, he bites onto the female and fuses onto her.
Fusion! Ha!
Another frightening fish is the viperfish, measuring around 60 centimeters or 23 inches in length. It's essentially an anglerfish made to look even more alien. Its fanged jaws can open
these
wide
things,
to almost
these
90
things are,
degrees,
when you see these things, it just makes you think, yo, imagine what's in the sea that they haven't discovered yet. Dangerous place, man, yo. Imagine what's like, yo, deep down in the ocean, that the parts where they can't even get to. Crazy place.
Probably even more hideous are deep sea dragonfishes, a similar class of wide-jawed monsters which make viperfish look like they're incomplete cousins. What's particularly special about this fish is they don't just produce blue light like most other deep-sea creatures, they also produce red light. To emit this light, the species will use organs called photophores, typically located in front of their eyes. While the red light cannot act as a lure, since most of the prey cannot see that shade, it does allow the dragonfish to stealthily illuminate their prey.
Full-on predators.
The main challenge for any deep-sea organism is not actually the absence of light, but the crushing pressure levels. For the pelican flounder, the solution is simple. It makes itself as flat and flexible as butter.
His lips are like when he's communicating with his other fishes in the sea. Just yeah, that looks one weird looking fish.
Nothing much is currently known about the pelican flounder since they are rarely observed in their natural habitat. But if we were to point out one specific trait that makes it really special as a deep sea dweller, it would be its baby form. Pelican flounder larvae are some of the most alien-looking entities of the deep.
They look sick though, I can't lie.
Like a mosquito, pelican flounder larvae are enveloped within their transparent flesh, only growing into their normal opaque brown color as they... Number 7, giant isopods and amphipods. Sure, ancient trilobites and modern horseshoe crabs may look cute and all, but out on the deep sea floor, there are creepy crawlies that could take you millions of years back into the age of the giant insects. Just take a close look at this giant isopod.
What is this? Hunter.
Closer. Its extraterrestrial form and size will constantly make you wonder if it's actually some sort of mutated lice. Don't worry, it's not going to jump on your face.
It looks like it will.
Active hunter. They also typically thrive in colder, deeper environments, which is why they're technically
cold-hearted.
Most
That's why that animal's cold-hearted.
There are other forms of gigantic deep-sea crustaceans that have an unusual alien-like appearance, like the supersized amphipods. It's almost as if they're the grotesque and mutated versions of their tamer counterparts on the shallow seas and land. Thankfully, being that almost all of them are not as active as the wide-jawed hellspawn.
Yo, the ocean's just crazy, bro.
Number 6, spider crabs. Speaking of crustaceans, crabs are also subjected to the same freakish transformations when the deep sea is taken into account. This time, though, it's not just their size, but rather a whole different dimension of weird. Japanese spider crabs, for example.
What?
Hold the record for the longest legged crab, But they
That
are
is
also
that is
literally the
massive.
longest-legged
Yeah.
arthropods
No,
ever.
no.
They can grow up to around 5 meters long. Although their body is relatively small, its main body can still grow a bit larger than the average human head.
Nah, but why these weird creatures? Like why? Like why are they there? Like yo, when you think about it, like why are they there? Why these yo? It makes no sense. Like yo, you can miss maybe the ocean still. Scuba diving and them things. It's a good thing that these things are like yo, deep down. Cause anyhow they went deep down, it was just like a level that you could just scuba dive in them things, yo. Ain't no one touching the ocean. Ain't no one touching the ocean. I'm telling you that for a fact. I'm definitely not.
Number 5, colossal squid. If there's one
Colossal
persistent
squid. I've
legend
heard of
that
this
turns
one.
out
This
to
one's
be
some
true,
massive squid,
it's
isn't
that
it?
the deep sea is home to fantastic creatures
Sounds
that
sick though.
exhibit
Colossal
monstrous
squid.
proportions. It's a well-known scientific phenomenon known as deep sea gigantism. And one of the most gigantic creatures we know of that lives
That just
down
seems
there
like it would just
is the
murk off a lot of
colossal
things
squid.
though.
The colossal squid is a gigantic cephalopod that is easily more than twice the size of a regular human. Occasionally caught in the southern seas of the Antarctic,
Yeah, that's murking a lot of things in the water. I can tell that for a fact. Just wrap their things around. Just bang.
it may not be capable of capsizing ships, but it's still the largest known invertebrate in the world.
Yeah,
Giant
movies
squids
exaggerate
are
everything.
Another huge squid species. Compared to the colossal squid, they're only about a third of their size, but they're still larger than any regular person, and they have a huge intimidating beak you would not want to be eaten by. Though it can be just as elusive as its bigger counterpart, the giant squid has actually been spotted in its natural habitat, even twice, although only very briefly. Speaking of deep sea squids, the vampire
What the
squid
hell is
also
it?
deserves a special
Vampire
mention
squid,
with a
you know.
weird transitional body that is technically classified as a split between a squid and an octopus. It's not as gigantic, but it's still equally monstrous with its cape-like webbing and spine-studded tentacles.
Yes, crazy.
Number 4, harp sponge. As fearsome as they are,
That just looks like
sea
just
anemones and
bones.
other similar creatures have at least taught us that the oceans are also home to a number of immobile predatory feeders. Therefore, it's only natural that the deep dark sea will introduce us to something similar, only more horrifying. The harp sponge, for
Look at it,
instance,
just like
looks
bones.
just like its name suggests, an unassuming harmless piece of underwater living sponge shaped like a harp.
That's why the mermaids go to play it, you know what I'm saying?
With its meal unable to escape, it then completely envelops its prey and digests it. Part of its menu typically includes various small
Yo,
fishes, usually
everywhere, yo,
those
it's
that are
just
not strong enough to escape
chill or be
its
killed, you know what I'm
microscopic
saying?
hooks.
Survival of the
However,
fittest, yo.
it has been known to feast on
crazy.
crustaceans as well. Number 3, sea toads. The sea
Sea
toad is a
toads,
rather
yeah.
simple name for this ocean-dwelling oddity, but it does kind of describe what an
Yo,
amphibian
that animal looks confused. Yo, look at
the
it, man. It looks
crushing depths of the
confused as
deep
hell,
sea.
bro.
Think of a fish that is smashed from front to back and given tiny legs. That's the simplest description of what sea toads look like. In the words of Sir David Attenborough, it has been living so long in the
Attenborough.
depths that its fins have changed into something more useful: feet. Not the most beautiful thing in the sea, but it definitely gives a direct visual representation.
Yo, that one looks pissed off, bro. You pissed him off, bro.
Oh, and as with its close relative, the aforementioned anglerfish, the sea toad
That's
is also
close.
a fierce ambush predator.
Yo,
It lurks,
you know it must be,
always
you know it must be
patiently
reckless then
for
because yo,
tackles
that's your
that
relative.
finally ends up
Yeah,
as sustenance.
you got the same mentality as them, bro. Bad mind animals.
Deep sea siphonophores are long lines of jellyfish-like entities connected together, only guided by the organism behind.
See, these
and
things just
in
make
front.
no sense.
They
Like,
can
how
get
is this a
really
living
long, like just as
animal
long
or
or
thing
even
or
longer than a
like
blue
what?
whale, making them some of the longest animals in the world. They stay alive by preying on smaller animals, by using stinging
It makes
cells.
no
Though
sense.
some types of siphonophores
Yeah, the world's
exhibit a
strange, you know.
similar long and slender
Strange.
creature configuration, other types can have even wackier physical configurations. Most of them, though, such as the classic Portuguese man-o-war, do not belong to the depths of the deep sea.
Yo, imagine if you're just on the beach and you see something like this just washed up on the beach. What would you do? Like, yo, that kind of looks sick though. It looks like one of them things where like, say if you know in your houses you have like a glass ornament or something. It looks like that, yo. Right, looks good though. But yo, I bet it's dangerous, but I bet you touch that you get stung or something.
Number 1, gulper eels. If there's one thing in the deep that is the
Yeah,
literal
that's
stuff
good.
of nightmares, it would definitely have to be the gulper eel. Its name
Yeah,
alone
yo,
conjures a
that-
disturbing
yeah.
image to those who
Your
hear it,
jaw's hanging,
and complete
mate.
dread to those who
Look at it, bro. Yo, his jaw's hanging, mate. His jaw got rocked. His jaw's hanging, mate. Yo, he's been on the crack. His jaw's hanging. You know what I'm saying? Yo, stay off the drugs. Stay off drugs, people. Are you gonna look like that? Is drugs hanging?
Existence. Its huge mouth, which is definitely its most defining trait, is capable of extending and snapping like a snake. This allows it to munch and dine on stuff that a creature of its size would not normally be able to swallow. Combine this with its
Crazy
very
stuff.
slender body and whip-like tail, and its capability of easily bending into the depths of darkness, and this makes it even more terrifying than the already monstrous anglerfish. Strangely enough, cusk eels, despite being within the same category and habitat as the gulper eel, look vastly different and come in a variety of forms. They have all the normal features of regular fish, but wrapped within an almost extraterrestrial looking transparent form. This is to be expected though, as at 8,200 meters deep, the cusk eel is officially one of the deepest ocean-dwelling creatures on record. To give you a rough idea of how tough as hunters these eel really are, both of them eat a staple diet of mostly hard crustaceans. They also inhabit a very large part of the world's oceans, as they can easily thrive anywhere, so long as the climate is relatively warm.
All I'm saying is, yo, it's a good thing that these creatures, most of them anyway, are deep in the sea, because like I said before, anyhow they're like at a level where they could be in contact with humans and things. Yo, ain't no one touching the ocean. The ocean's off limits, bro. I'm telling you, because some of them strange creatures, bro. I don't know what they must be feeding these creatures down deep in the ocean, because how they're turning out like this makes no sense to me. Like, yo, it's crazy, bro. It's like a whole nother world down there, man. But yo, that's gonna be it for this reaction, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, subscribe, yo, turn on your notifications, get us to 100 subscribers, and yeah. Till next time, guys. Peace.